Hello everybody and welcome back to LRN. Kevin Magnussen is on pole position. Can you believe it? What a day as an F1 fan. Absolutely brilliant. He's going to be celebrating tonight. Hopefully not too much. Hopefully he's not too hungover for the sprint race tomorrow. But what a result for Kevin Magnussen. This is what we want as F1 fans. Still to see surprises. As soon as there was wet weather going into this qualifying session, I just hoped we'd have a surprise. We'd have top drivers going out in Q1, and you could see as they were going round that as the track dried up, we could possibly get a surprise. But other than the Alphas, it didn't happen in Q1. It didn't happen in Q2, but Q3 came to the rescue, and Kevin Magnussen put in the lap time legitimately in the same conditions as everybody else, put himself in pole position. George Russell bins it into the gravel, and Kevin Magnussen sees down the clock to put himself on pole. So if you are happy for Kevin Magnussen, hit a like on this video. Let's see how many likes we can get on the video for K-Mag. He absolutely deserves it. He's obviously been a stalwart of the sport for so many years, other than his brief exit from Haas. I'm so happy for him that he's managed to get this pole in what is arguably the biggest day of his career. Yes, he had the moments for McLaren back when he got on the podium when he first went to McLaren in Australia. That was a fantastic result. But to get on pole for Haas, for their first ever pole position in the sport, the first new constructor to get a pole position in Formula One since the 70s. What a day for Gunther Steiner, for Haas, for Gene Haas on his birthday, for Kevin Magnussen. What a day, and what a day as an F1 fan. It is absolutely fantastic. I cannot stress enough how happy I am for Kevin Magnussen. And as I say, if you are happy for him, hit a like on the video. It was an absolutely fantastic qualifying session in the end. I know it's not great for the fans to just have to in Brazil to have to just watch the time tick down, but it's a momentous occasion. We had Hamilton go out and test it, and I know K-Mag knew nothing was going to come of that. He'd done enough. No one else was going to go out there, and even if Hamilton had put in a time, it wouldn't have been enough for him to set a time nowhere near quick enough to put K-Mag off pole. We knew it was happening, but we waited for the clock to tick down, and it was confirmed that K-Mag was on pole. And just what a day. I couldn't be any happier for the guy. Get your comments in below. What did you think of the qualifying session? There isn't, too much else to think about. Also, we have moments. We have Ferrari messing up with the tyres. Didn't seem to have a clue what they were going on in terms of bringing the soft tyres out. They seemed to be coming out one at a time. Like they only had one engineer. You had to go in, get one, and come back out and do one at a time. They didn't seem to have a clue what was going on. It's just standard Ferrari this season, not having a clue. Obviously, with Russell beaching it, I've got a question you can see there on the bottom right-hand side around should drivers be DQ'd for causing red flags. And I mean that in the sense of the session that they caused a red flag for. I don't mean qualifying as a whole, I mean that session. So Russell obviously confirmed third place for himself by putting it in the gravel, and for me that doesn't seem fair. I think that if you cause the red flag, you have to be penalised, whether that be they could do it as a amount of time penalty, or whether you are just removed from the session. There has to be some penalty for preventing all other drivers from setting a time to beat you. Obviously, if you were to park it on the circuit and stop, or impede someone, get in someone's way intentionally, you would indeed be penalised for that in one way or another. So should drivers be penalised for causing a red flag that prevents other people from setting a quicker time from them? In my perspective, yes, they should. I think either remove from the session or a decent time penalty having done that. As I say, if you were to impede someone on track, and even if they went to set a time that still got them ahead of you, you'd still be penalised for impeding them. So the fact that you can cause a red flag and see no penalty, to me, doesn't seem right. But of course, the news is K-Mag. I'm sure he's going to be singing tonight. He's going to be with his engineers. He's going to have to keep it together, and hopefully he has a good weekend, right? We know we've got the sprint race, and the sprint race is going to allow other drivers to get past him, so he's not going to start the proper race on pole position. Hopefully he can get a couple of points from the sprint format before the main race on Sunday. I really hope he can enjoy the rest of the weekend, that he doesn't DNF, that nothing else happens, and that he can come to the end of the weekend having the whole weekend as a positive. He'll know that he's not going to win any races, right? But hopefully he can have a good weekend. He can come away from it as a total positive, and he can come, into the Monday or Sunday night. They can go out and they can celebrate and they can drink and they have a good time as a team with his engineers, and they can really properly celebrate, because obviously he's only going to be able to do so much tonight. Although I think he'll be struggling to sleep, so we might see some baggy eyes tomorrow on the grid where he hasn't had much sleep tonight. I can imagine the adrenaline is going to be pumping for K-Mag as he looks to prepare himself for tomorrow. But what an event, what a qualifying for Kevin Magnussen. Just fantastic all round. I'm so happy for him. And again, if you are happy for him, hit a like on the video. As I say, George Russell should be penalised. We know we've got the general behind him. We've got Verstappen in second. He's probably favourite to go on then and win the sprint race. Hopefully, we can see some others come through. I think Norris in fourth, fantastic result for Norris in fourth. Really happy to see him there. And again, hopefully he can have a good sprint race and put himself in a good position for the race on Sunday when we go into points proper. Of course, the last thing we have really to look forward to in terms of competition in the constructors, the main competition is that battle between Alpine and McLaren. We also have the battle for third place. Perez and Leclerc fighting it out for second and third. So that's interesting. So we'll definitely keep an eye on that one. But yeah, certainly been a really, really good day. Really, really happy about the result. Looking forward to the rest of the weekend. Hoping for some good, some good overtaking, some good action at the Brazilian GP. Maybe keep an eye on the Alfa Romeos. We know they're out of position, having gone out in Q1. Really not good news, of course, for Mick Schumacher as well. But with the Alfas, because they're out of position, they could be a source of a lot of overtakes in the sprint race, especially, and into Sunday, depending on how far forward they manage to get. The Alfa Romeo has been decent in recent races. Bottas has been on form and finishing well into the points, so expect him to make some moves. He's even behind his teammate Zhou Guanyu, so definitely want to see Bottas making some moves. So if he can find the overtaker within him and get that aggression, we could see some really good action at the back of the grid with the Alphas making moves. Hopefully Mick can make some moves as well. We genuinely believe this is going to be the last two races, maybe not of his F1 career, but at least his F1 career for now. Of course, we've already talked about the fact we believe Hülkenberg will be replacing Mick at Haas. So let's hope that Mick, after qualifying in last, can go and have a really good rest of his weekend after a terrible qualifying session. So hopefully Mick can have a good sprint race, get himself a few positions, and then look to again get himself up towards the points on Sunday. It'd be really good to see Mick have a good weekend as well. But Haas aren't going to be thinking about that. All they're going to be thinking about is K-Mag, about this pole position, and looking to capitalise on it through the sprint race and into Sunday, and just get the best result they can so they can come away with only positive vibes into Sunday night and celebrate for a few days to come before, of course, we head to the final race of the season. So, of course, great qualifying session for K-Mag, and weird, of course, that it's on a Friday. I don't know how you feel about sprint races, and for me, maybe we need to do a different video on it to talk about sprint races in general. I like the fact sprint races exist. I think for Formula One, for fans to have something really good to get into on a Saturday and a reason to go to the F1, other than everyone, of course, trying to get tickets for the Sunday. I think it's an extra incentive to make the whole weekend something to look forward to, the Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. I think from that perspective, it works. Maybe we need to tweak how, the structure of it, what it means, how it works, and the points total, things like that. We can look at that, and we'll look at sprint races in more detail in another video. But for me, I like that it's part of the weekend, and hopefully we get a decent amount of action in the sprint race. If you disagree, though, if you don't like sprint races, you want to go back to the traditional format of just practice, qualifying, and the main race, and you want that just to be that, let me know in the comments if that is the case, and let me know why, of course, you think that, and why it is then you don't like sprint races, or if you do, let me know why, and let me know if you think there needs to be more sprint races on the calendar. Let me know in the comments below, and as I say, we'll go through that in another video. So make sure you're subscribed, bottom right hand side, and hit that bell icon to be notified when all videos go up. And if you are new around here, make sure to subscribe to the channel, and as I said, hit a like on the video for Kevin Magnussen. Let's see how many likes we can get for him. Otherwise, just going to thank you so much for watching. Enjoy the sprint race tomorrow, and we'll be back over the next couple of days with more content reacting to the Brazilian GP weekend. Thank you for watching. Goodbye.